Earlier today, we did a video on Scottie Pippen's Air More Tempos from 1996. And I mentioned that Pippen played on the 96 and the 1992 Olympic teams. In 92, he was with the Dream Team in Barcelona, and he wore an amazing pair of Air Flight Lights. I've got a pair over here of Flight Light Retros. This is not the colorway that he wore in the Olympics. That was red, white, blue, and gold, just like all of the other Olympic-themed shoes. But this is one of my favorite Pippen retro shoes that's not actually a part of the signature line. Pippen's signature line had 5 different shoes, but before that, he was wearing Nikes, and he was wearing Nike Flights. Flight 89s, Air Bounds, which were part of the Flight line, of course the Flight Light, and then later on the Air Maestro, which is also part of the Flight lineage of shoes. In 1989, Nike drew a line between Flight and Force, and they sort of created this dichotomy where Michael Jordan was the head of the Flight lineup, and Force was really run by David Robinson and Charles Barkley. And Scottie Pippen was always with the Flight lineup of basketball shoes. Come over here and have a look at this Flight Light. Red October never came for us. Then Kanye left Nike, so we don't even know what's going to happen with the red Yeezy 2s. So I'm going to have to break out a couple of red Pippen shoes for early December. You gotta love this pair of kicks. Believe it or not, I scored it at a Nike outlet for $39.99. And Scottie wore these shoes in 1992. The Air Flight Light High was worn by Wesley Snipes in White Men Can't Jump. We all know that Woody Harrelson wore the Air Command Force, which was the pump, but a few of us know that Wesley Snipes wore the Flight Light Highs. These are Flight Light Lows, and they're in Chicago Bulls colors. I said earlier that all these shoes were part of the Flight lineage, and when you look at the tongue of the shoe right here, you're going to see a big F, and that was on a lot of Scottie Pippen's earlier shoes and a lot of Air Flight shoes. I really like this amazing basketball shoe. Red shoes have been real popular as of late. We had the Toro 4s a few years back, the Toro 5s, the Yeezy 2 craze, even though they never even came out. Red shoes have always been really cool. These shoes were on display alongside a Scottie Pippen Beckett magazine. Back in the day when I was a kid, I used to collect basketball cards, and I really wanted to infuse my love of collecting and sports into shoes and elevate the sneaker game. People have been collecting sports cards for over 100 years now. Well, maybe not that long, but close to it. Shoes have really only been collected for a little while. And I wanted to take what I knew and loved about collecting cards and do it with shoes and put them on display. And I think that Nike's really gotten the hint with all of these limited edition collaboration models. I think the sneaker game has really changed forever. And I think that Nike's really going to be exploiting collectible kicks. You can even see on their website that they're promoting shoes as being collectible in addition to being performance oriented for sports. Let's have a look at this pair of shoes. Come on over here and have a look. These shoes are amazing. The Air Maestro. And Scottie Pippen wore this pair of shoes in 1994. Even though he also was wearing Maestros in 93, but he really made this shoe shine in the NBA All-Star Game in 1994. He was the MVP wearing these shoes, and it's amazing. Go on Google and look up Air Maestro 1994 All-Star, and you'll see that all of the shoes were like white and black of all the different players, except Scottie Pippen was wearing these all red shoes, and really this shoe in 1994 created the whole craze of having amazing all-star shoes. And that is still something that's going on to this day. There's amazing highlights and footage of that game. Scottie had 29 points and 11 rebounds, and he got the MVP in 94, which is significant because Michael Jordan was retired. And so here Scottie came out and led the Eastern Conference team in Michael's absence in these amazing shoes. Anyways, I hope you've enjoyed checking out Pippen's shoes from the early 90s, the Flight Light that he wore in Barcelona with the Dream Team, and then of course these amazing Maestros that he won the MVP in the All-Star Game with.